Good evening, guys. Happy Tuesday. It is July 28th. Empower to Rise Team Call. I am so happy to see so many faces. I've missed you guys. I'm like dying to hug everybody and I can't. It's so sad. But anyways, I'm so happy to see you all. I'm going to go ahead and share screen and we're going to get started on our call. It's kind of lengthy and it's only because I know that a lot of people kind of shy away from talking to people because they don't know what to do next. Like, what happens if they say no? Or what happens if they say yes? And today we're going to go ahead and talk about objections because I know that's a huge, thing. But let's go ahead and talk about announcements and everything else that's going on here first, and then we'll move on from there. Can you guys see the screen okay without like any kind of obstruction or anything? Or should I minimize you guys? I'm going to minimize you guys. All right, so I went with a different design. Isn't it so pretty? So excited. Okay, so the announcement. We have Team Cup starting August 1st. If you have not jumped into a Team Cup team and you would like to, please let me know and I will hook you up with people. I know there's some last minute stragglers that are looking for teams. We just closed out Angie's team today. I think Jen is already good to go. I'm terrible at naming teams, so mine is our team name, Empower to Rise. Angie's is Level Up Squad. I don't know what Jen's team name is, but if you're on Team Cup, we're scheduling a call for Friday evening at 9 p.m. Please do your best to be there because we're going to talk goals, strategy, what to expect, what kind of, this is like, Team Cup is when we work the most closely together because we're working as a team for a common goal. So if you can make it on that call on Friday night, do so. We will record it, but obviously, we'll be able to answer questions from you live on the call that other people can benefit from. We're going to partner together because, all the ideas that flow from everybody are always a great thing. Leadership, I'm part of Diesel Nation Leadership, and we have a schedule in August of multiple power hour times that you can jump into. It's open to everybody in the team. So those are led power hours where we'll get down to business, answer any questions you have. If you have an objection from somebody right at that point, we're there to help you, and it's at different times during the day and multiple times during the day. So whoever needs a nighttime call, you'll find a nighttime call. I'm usually doing the noontime, like the lunchtime hustle. There's one at 5:30 a.m. that I'm going to jump onto tomorrow to see how that's run because it's insane to me that people are messaging people at 5:30, but apparently it's great. So you'll have all those resources available, but we'll go ahead and talk about all that. So I'm really, really excited about Team Cup, especially with the MBF coming out. Yesterday, customer launch was released. Definitely start talking to people about it. The best strategy for those of you who are veteran coaches, go into your customer, it's the seltzer water. Go into your coach online office and check all your previous customers, see if they're on BOD, if their Beachbody on Demand is about to expire. This is a great time for them to cancel it, and then they can but they can get a new challenge pack. If they don't have their Shakeology or anything like that, they'll end up getting the package cheaper than paying the $130 for the Shakeol. They'll get the challenge pack plus access to MBF. It's a great strategy to help people save money and get them back on the wagon. A lot of people have fallen off the wagon, and I think what I've noticed, at least with the conversations that I'm having, is a lot of people are over it and they want to get back to some kind of normalcy, and that includes feeling good. They're putting on their clothing, people are going back to work, things are feeling a little tighter, and so they're starting to realize, oh crap, we need to get this together. So go ahead and jump on that. Also, the promo for MBF ends this month. Those of us who have joined Team Cup, you'll be receiving an email. I believe it's an email. I have to double check with FAQ. But you'll be receiving an email with promo codes that you can use to help people get started in August. Those are for people who are in Team Cup. If you're not on Team Cup, that's a great benefit to get it. But you just don't want to sign up for Team Cup just for the promo codes. You want to grow your business during Team Cup. So just know that the $20 off promo for MBF ends this month. So make sure you're talking about it and helping people get started. I already finished one round, and I absolutely love it. Bella actually jumped on with me, and she's doing a modified version. I'm making sure that she's modifying and doing things that she can do at her level, and she's loving it too. We're so sore today, it's insane. All right, and Bevy. So I've heard great things about Bevy. I was a little concerned about the taste and just it being kind of weird, but it's a drink for those who need something. Like I just had my hydrate with a LaCroix, and I'm thinking that Bevy can do the same thing for me, and it helps with your cravings. There's fiber, and there's all sorts of science behind it. There's nothing, I know for a fact there's nothing horrible in it at all, because there's just integrity when it comes to Beachbody and their products. So if you haven't tried Bevy, I hear the pomegranate tastes better. Although the lemon doesn't taste bad, it's just the pomegranate tastes better. So if you've tried it, let me know. I'd love to know how you like it. All right, let's take a look at this leaderboard. It's a little weird that I have the diamond leaders is me. So I need you guys to jump into the diamond leaders. All right, so let's talk about all of the new coaches that have joined. We have Krista, Stephanie, Vanessa, Francis, who just joined today, actually. Amy and Denise are back. They were coaches a couple years ago, and they are back on the team, and I'm excited to see them back and jumping on an MBF in Jen's team. We have Fabian, Amy, and Aliette who are making moves. I know Aliette is on fire. She's like, oh yeah, you're at SC9, Christina? All right, game on. So she has her game face on, and she's working towards Success Starter Month 2. She's working towards that summit ticket and that opportunity to be in a test group with one of the new programs that are coming out, which is really cool. We have myself and Lourdes are at Success Club 5 and up, and I am working to hit Success Club 10 plus. I want those Shakeology leads. It's really, really amazing to have those customers who just buy Shakeology through Beachbody, and Beachbody gives me that customer, and all I do is reach out and support them on their journey. So it's just a great way to have that extra commission coming in. Thankful for Beachbody for doing that for me, and it's a good, beautiful thing. So all the leaders, look at all these leaders on our team. We have just huge growth happening. I'm so excited. We have Emerald Watch. Melissa, I'm putting you on the spot, girlfriend. We've been watching you for Emerald for like weeks, and I know you had a little hiccup there, but I hope everybody's feeling better, and we will get you on track and getting started. Diamond Watch, we have Jen and Angie like right there. They're literally a sneeze away, or as my friend from Texas would say, a fart away. She's my Texas tab. She just says all sorts of fun things. All right, so now that we have our recognition out in the open, I'm so excited. Congratulations. Keep working. I know it's the end of the month, but you guys have plenty of time to achieve Success Club to help 3 people get started, especially now with MBF that just released for all the customers. All right, let's talk about objections. Objections are an amazing thing. I know a lot of people don't like objections and don't like to talk to skeptics and don't like to deal with that. I understand, because it's like, I don't want to hear a no. I don't want to hear a, oh my gosh, what are they going to say? You know, and a lot of people will stay in paralysis. They won't even invite because they're afraid of what the person will say. A lot of the times they won't even respond, and you have to follow up a couple of times before you get a response back. So I think imagination plays a lot here, and that was me at first. I didn't really start hardcore inviting until just a few years ago, and then it became like a constant for me. I want to say a couple years ago when I grabbed a couple of success partners and we were like, okay, let's do it. And we kind of all just jumped in and sent invites to people. And as you do it more often, the easier it gets to just send and move on to the next person and just send. And then as you're learning, as you're growing, as you're moving forward, you get these objections and you start learning how to have these conversations with people. Objections are a good thing. It's a lot better than being ghosted. So I always like the objection. It's a positive thing for me. It's a great way to educate the person that you're talking to, number one. It's a great way to figure out what people are thinking when you're posting things. These are objections that maybe other people are having, and it's a great way for you to attack that objection publicly. I talked about Shakeology today in my stories. My neighbor was like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. I was like, compared to what? I mean, if you're comparing apples to apples, it's really not that expensive, you know? So, you know, it's one of those things where I openly attack those objections. When they object, it means that they're open to listening to you, that they feel like they need it, but they're still not sure. Remember, our brain will automatically guard us and keep us from danger. So that's what's happening. Your job is to remind them of why they need this. When somebody reaches out to me, I always ask, or if we're having this conversation, I invite them and they say, yeah, give me some more details. I always come back and say, okay, well, talk to me while I get those details for you. Tell me about your goals. Why now? Why is now the right time for you to get started on your health journey? You know, do you want to lose weight? Do you want to tone up? I always offer those suggestions, and they'll come back to me with that, with what it is that they need. And so whenever there's an objection, I always bring it back to their need and their why. Why is it that they want to get started now, and what their goals are? You always want to bring it back to that. So these are objection slides from Bonnie Engel. She's one of our top coaches, and I grabbed them. So I'm very excited. So a lot of this is not my story, but it'll teach you how to kind of make it your own. So the number one objection I hear is, I don't have the money. How many of you have heard that one? I don't have it. I hear it all the time, right? So you want to break down the cost. Obviously, the 140 that happened a few months ago, I don't know when we're going to see it again, but you want to talk about the promotions that are being offered. MBF is at a crazy sale. This is the first time any of our programs have had both nutrition programs, containers, and the gear offered in a bundle like that. The nutrition programs in themselves is a huge value because they have access to things that, you know, to the programs that we've had to unlock. I had to buy Ultimate Portion Fix. I had to buy To Be Mindset. It wasn't just accessible to me. So I had to invest in that. So you want to talk about breaking down the cost. You get the shake, you get the bod ropes, you get the containers, you get Beachbody On Demand for the year, you get Shakeology, and you break everything down. So you really, you know, you make sure that they see the value in all of that. Because usually these people have been following you, and they've been following your journey, and they're watching it, what it is that you're doing, and wondering what it is, what's in the shake, and what is it that she's doing. So there's a curiosity that's sparked. You want to break down the cost for them, okay? And this is, Bonnie Engel always includes the coaching opportunity. And I've started doing that also. For example, the girl that I just signed up, she needs to lose about 60 pounds. She wants to do Muscle Burns Fat. It's a 3-week program. And I told her, I said, it's probably most beneficial for you to sign up as a discount coach. You can decide to get started or not and build a business. It's up to you. But because you have 60 pounds to lose, you're not going to lose that in 3 weeks. It makes more sense for you to start as a discount coach or as a VIP client. That way you're already saving the money. And as you start losing the weight and as you start transforming, people will start asking you. Automatically, she said, you know what? I think I'm going to have my sister join me. So she already is thinking that way, and you're already planting that seed. So Bonnie Engel does the same thing. She's constantly talking about the coaching opportunity. Another objection, so it sounds great, but I don't have the money right now. Relate to people. It's constantly relating to people. I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way when I first started about coaching. I'm so sorry about the spelling mistakes. I literally grabbed this from Bonnie. I believed in the product because we knew of Beachbody, so we made a ton of sacrifices. Sorry. At first, you talk about the things, the extras that people are paying for. I mean, people are buying $8, $9 Starbucks coffees, and they're not even nutritionally good for you. So, you start talking about these expenses that you can start cutting back and breaking it down, and break it down for them helps for them to see where they can kind of cut like little things. And if they really are attached to that Frappuccino, offer the cafe latte, Shakeology, because they can make a delicious Frappuccino with a little bit of whip on top, and it's much better for them anyway. Worst case scenario, this is when, I gave myself X amount of time to make sure that, I can do something with this. If it worked, then great. I'll keep, moving forward. Tell them, hey, I gave myself a time limit, or, you can give yourself 3 months to see if it works. If it doesn't work out for you, then, no harm, no foul. What's the worst that can happen? You lose a little weight, you feel a little better. And that's it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of easy. You're just having simple conversations with people. Talk about the 30-day money back guarantee. A lot of people don't believe that we do this, but you can literally return the bag empty to Beachbody after 30 days, and they'll return your money minus shipping. So you can always talk about that. Just know that that's something that you can fall back on and say, hey, give it a 30-day chance. And if nothing happens, if you do all the work and you do everything that you're supposed to do with your workouts and your nutrition, and you don't lose a pound or you don't feel at all, like not even an ounce better, then return it. So that kind of helps some people relax and say, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe I can do that. There's actually a couple top coaches who signed up that way. They didn't even sign up with friends. They signed up with stranger coaches because they had already made up their mind that they were going to return the Shakeology after they drank it all. And then they ended up becoming really successful coaches. So go figure. Priorities and comparison. A lot of people think it's high cost up front. It's because you're paying a bulk of it at the beginning. This is actually what I talked about with my neighbor yesterday. He's like, it's so expensive. I said, compared to what? You know, when you break it down, it's only $4 a shake, $4 a day. And I just broke it up for him because people are thinking, oh my God, that's such a lump sum. But I mean, when you think about it, a lot of people are going to Target and spending $250 on probably the dollar section. You know what I mean? It's very easy to just spend that much money on just about anything. So I'm going to make sure that you have all these slides. I'll put them, I'll actually put the file, the PDF in the team page, so don't feel like you have to write everything down, okay? So here's another one. I hear this all the time. I don't have the time. You have 30 minutes, right? You have 30 minutes to give yourself a great workout, to give yourself that time. So relate your story. So Bonnie talked about how she had 5 million jobs. She literally had like 3 jobs. She'd leave the house at this time. She'd do this, she'd do that. Make it your own story. When I first started coaching and I started doing Beachbody, I would wake up early in the morning and get my 25-minute workout with T25 done early in the morning before we went to school. And it was 25 minutes that I can get. It was like one and done, and that was it. And another benefit was I had the Shakeology. That was my shake. My breakfast was my shake. 0 time necessary for me with that, and that was it. Once I decided that I wanted to build a business with this, I used pockets of time to build this business. After school, if the kids had an after-school activity, I worked my business. Lunchtime, if I wasn't in the teacher's lounge having lunch, I was working my business. So you find little pockets of time that you can work without sacrificing time from your family. We have training for that, and this is more geared towards coaching. A lot of people think you need to know everything right away. I was ignorance on fire. Christina said, go help people with challenge packs, and I said, okay. Go help people with Shakeology. I said, okay, and that was it. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what an SD point was. I didn't know what Success Club was. I didn't know how to earn the trip, and there was no space for me on the boat, but like I didn't know these things. I just knew she said, if you want to grow this is how you do it. And so I said, okay. It wasn't until later that I started really digging in. I don't recommend that, but if you're excited about something, go and share it, and if you need the training, the Coach Online Office is absolutely amazing. Back when I started, we didn't have the resources that we have right now, and I really love how the videos are short and to the point, and you get the gist of what you need, and you can go and put it to action. I don't have time, so our workouts are designed for not having a lot of time. I mean, we have Transform 20, that's 20 minutes. Hardcore, what is it? 22-minute hardcore with Tony and Horton, 22 minutes. People do have the time. They just need to see the value of spending that 20 minutes, 30 minutes on themselves to feel better, to feel good about that themselves. I mean, most of us are doing 1-hour workouts with 80-day obsession. That's commitment, and you feel good after that. All right, next. So here's one that's fun. Someone reads your message, committed, and then they didn't answer you. They're completely ghosted you. Okay, so I've tried this, I've done this, and Bonnie's a genius. It's fantastic. So, hey girl, I see you read my messages and haven't responded. You were so excited, and I'm so sorry if I made you feel like you couldn't talk to me about your doubts, about the program. That's never my intention. I would love to get you started, but totally understand it's not for everyone. I would love some feedback though. Man, there's a lot of spelling mistakes, and I know my teachers, You're catching all of them. Our eyes are trained for this. If you could let me know how I could have explained it better or answered your questions more clearly, I would love to know. I talk to people all day long about making this decision, so I would love to communicate it better. Thanks. So you're taking the pressure off of them and asking them to give you feedback about how you can better do your job. It works. I have sent this message to a lot of people, and 9 times out of 10, they respond back and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to completely ignore you. Life got really busy. This, and this happened. And then they say, no, I'm still interested, but, and then they'll tell you the reality of what their situation is. Now, obviously, there are some cases where, you know, some people just really can't get started, and I get it, you know, but this helps to break that ice and to have that conversation with people. Relate their why. If you're getting a little pushback and you know that they're right there, they're just kind of like, oh, it's that kind of, they're trying to avoid that buyer's remorse or whatever it is. You can use this as well. You know, you haven't signed up yet, just wondering if you knew I was holding a spot for you. I was so inspired by you and how you wanted to build this business for your little ones to make extra income, or I was inspired by the fact that you decided to finally get back on the wagon and lose those 25 pounds so you can feel better and feel confident and feel sexy. You know, whatever it is that they, you know, told you, you want to reiterate that to them and tell them remind them why they wanted to get started. That's it. There are some people that you can reach out to and say, hey, help me with my goal. You know, I know you're busy. I know you have the share card in your email. It takes about 3 seconds. I'd love to get you in the group. I'm working towards a huge goal, and I'd love to know if you can help me with that. This is something that I use with my close friends and family and say, hey, listen, I would really, really appreciate if you can do this for me, if you can help me with this goal type of thing. Those are the people that I have the most confidence with. That's who I use this with. I don't know that I would send that to somebody that's kind of a cold person. You know what I mean? The referral. So you can, I don't know, I've never tried this one. Guessing this wasn't for you, no big deal. I was wondering, since you were all about it, if you were had any friends or family who would be interested. I'm going to have to redo this whole thing because I can't deal with these slides. So ask for a referral or ask for the follow-up. There's a lot of times where people won't respond to me at all and say, hey, you know what? I'll go ahead and reach out to you next month, see if times, you know, or funds are better then. Maybe the timing will be better, but I'm going to go ahead and circle back. Is that okay with you? I ask for permission to circle back. And 9 times out of 10, yes. That one time, it's usually they ghost me or, you know, whatever. I'm not going to take it personal because I know what I have and I know it's great and I want you to join me. So, you know. All right. Do I have to get the shake? I actually got this objection the other day. She said, and I told her, I said, number one, and I didn't relate it to the business, but I told her, I said, at the price of $160 where you get your containers, you get your bod ropes, you get your nutrition programs, you get all of these things, that just make sense for you to get the shake and do the entire package so that you can start the program and do the first 3 weeks at least with the Shakeology on hand so that you can see how great you're going to feel while you're doing the program the first 3 weeks. If you decide you want to cancel the shake, that's fine, but let's have integrity with the program and do it the way it's written because you're going to get the best results that way. So I always talk about how it's written in a certain way so that your results are the best that they can be. And as far as the business is concerned, yeah, you want Shakeology. Shakeology is literally our bread and butter of this business. It is a wonderful product. Darren O'Lean is now on Down to Earth, and you can see how crazy he is about nutrition and earth and, you know, conservation and all of these beautiful things. So you know that what's in the bag is actually a really great thing. So, you know, how can you refer it if you're not using it yourself, basically? And with the best results, like I just said, we guarantee your results. And I've said to people, I said, I can't guarantee your results if you're not doing the program the way it's written. You can do it. You're going to have a little bit more difficult time with it because Shakeology does help with those cravings that you're going to get in a couple of weeks, you know, from, you know, cleaning up your diet. And it's not going to fill in those gaps if you don't drink it. So I talk about that as well. It's the best deal. Just like I talked to my friend Violet actually, and I told her, I said, just makes sense because the shake itself is $130. Right now you're getting everything for $160. It's a no-brainer, you know? But I'm breastfeeding and pregnant. I always refer people to their doctor. Say, we have a lot of Shako babies and a lot of Shako mamas that are nursing their babies, but we always refer them back to their doctor. If their doctor says it's okay, then great. We're not medical experts, and at the end of the day, if they're under a doctor's care, you want to give that doctor that that decision. You want to give them that decision to make. You want them to make the decision for their patient. Sorry. Okay, I wouldn't be a good coach. Oh my gosh, I get this all the time. So I don't have a six-pack. I'm probably still not at my goal weight. I don't even know what my goal weight is anymore at this point. And I've shared this, that it's actually so much better to not be where you want to be and share the journey as you're going through the journey. Because people want to see that. When you see from point A to point B, people are like, okay, what happened in the middle? Like, what's going on there, you know? An example that I use is when I was going through everything with my mom, I shared my entire journey. I shared everything. I shared the good, the bad, the ugly, just because I thought maybe some people could benefit from that and see how I kind of survived that and how I'm doing really well now. You know, people who have followed me from back then, they saw it, but can you imagine if I went from point A to point B, there was nothing in the middle, they didn't see the growth or the journey that I went through. I'm not a salesperson. Oh, that's great. We don't want salespeople. I can't deal with sleazy salespeople. We automatically think if we're offering a product to somebody that we become these car salesmen. We're not. We're sharing our journey. We share our stories. When we share our stories rather than like a stock photo of MBF, if I share a sweaty selfie with Bella, which got crazy likes and comments, there's a story there. She's watched me for years do this. I watched my mom work out for years. There was a story there, and people were able to connect to that and think, man, you know, maybe my daughter would do that, or my kids would work out, or, you know, they connect themselves to that journey. So rather than sell to people, we want to tell people about what it is that we're doing and offer it to them as well with a call to action. So we're not salesy. We don't want salespeople. No. I don't have a big market and I'm from a small town. Okay. That has nothing to do with it. We're entirely online based, so you can find friends on Instagram. I'm still making friends on Instagram and Facebook, which is really cool. Plus, I get referral business from Vinny's business. I have a couple of people who got started because of Vinny. My husband helps me build my business also. There are a lot of coaches that started with just about like nothing, no friends. Ashley Molstad, who's currently our top coach, I think had like 100 friends on Facebook, and now she's the top coach in the company. So it's all about just growing your niche, finding other women and men. I don't know if we have any men. Women that have things in common with you. Look for people in your town. Look for people in your city. You know, what do your children like to do if you have kids? Things like that. So there's that. So you always want to come back to them and constantly relate. Okay, and finally, I want you all to breathe. A lot of people get nervous when it comes to inviting or to sharing this opportunity with people. Take a deep breath. Be confident in who you are and what you're offering to others. Know that a no now is just a not now. They're not ready for it. It's not yet, okay? And they'll be watching you. Aliette, I've invited her. She said it on her Instagram for 3 years. For 3 years, I invited her to join me. For 3 years, she wasn't ready. She did Shako for a little while, and then she stopped. She wasn't ready. But now she's all in, and Girlfriend's on fire. So just know that you want to consistently invite people and just consistently show up. You're the expert. People are learning from you, right? You drink the shake, you do the workout, you're experiencing it, you're the expert. So you can stand in your power and really, you know, be the person that knows what they're talking about. And reach out. Reach out to any of us. Reach out to us oldies, us veterans, if you need any help. Okay? We're here to help you. That's what we do. Okay, and then finally, every no brings me closer to a yes, and that is so true. I think also, in addition to worrying about what people are going to say, is we don't want to hear no. We don't want to be ghosted. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's personal. But the faster I get through all those no's, I know that I'm eventually going to get to that yes, and to that person that's super excited, or that unicorn coach that's just going to be on fire and just run with it, you know? So it's just a matter of getting through and filtering through those no's. So let me go ahead and stop share. Oh, it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be, which is good because I don't want to keep you guys away from your babies. Do you all have, and does anybody have any questions for me? No, we're good.
What is the Team Cup?
Team Cup. Team Cup, I'll send you a link about Team Cup. But Team Cup is basically just a fun, competitive thing that we do in August. It's usually August and February to just help people get started on their health journey, and we do it in teams of 5. So we have teams of 5 already set up, but if you want to join, let me know, and I'll see if we can find another 4 coaches to get you into a group. Okay. But it's just a fun way to earn Success Club and to grow your business. That's what it is. All right, let me go ahead and stop recording.